What's up, guys? So today we're going to do an oil change on Frostbite, and we're going to go over how I do it. Alright, so I know most of you guys won't have this option at your house, but where I work we have a car lift. Although I'm not going to lift the whole truck, I'm just going to lift up the front tires, just the front of it, so I can get to the oil pan. So that makes it a little easier for me. On the Rams and pretty much all the Hemis, you'll need a 13mm socket, a wrench, a ratchet, or whatever. I'm just going to bust it loose with my impact gun, and then some oil filter pliers. And then before I raise it up, so I can get it to drain pretty good. Right now the oil's still pretty warm from driving in. I pull the dipstick tube out a little bit, and then I go ahead and I take the oil fill cap off. That way it vents the crankcase pretty good, so the oil will come out in a good fast stream and get as much out as possible. So we'll raise it up now. And I usually go to about right there, and then you get your oil pan, set it up. Okay, so we got the oil pan under here already. I'm gonna get my 13mm drain bolt right here. I just kind of break it loose a little bit. Get my pan about where I hope it's going to come out to. And there she goes. And I don't have but probably a good week or two on this oil right now. And as most of you guys know, the reason I'm changing it is because I just did a cam swap, a J Green racing cam. And I just wanted to kind of run it for about a week and get any metal particles or break-in materials out of the oil. And then fill her back up, and should be good to go to the next actual oil change. So we'll let that drain out. And once that gets done draining, we'll go to the oil filter. The other thing I do also, when I do it like this, I'll let it all the way down and let it drain like that for a little while, just to get as much as I can out, and then I'll raise it back up, and then we'll get the oil filter off. Alright, so we got all the oil drained out of the pan. We're going to put the drain bolt back in. And then we're going to get my 13mm wrench. We're going to finally torque this to about 3 or 4 rat tats. That's how you properly torque a bolt. And then I'm going to grab these pliers right here. And we're going to break loose this oil filter. Not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to do an oil change holding the camera. There we go. Should be able to loosen the rest of that with my hand, hopefully. I'm gonna scoop my pan back here some. There we go. Try to catch as much of this as possible. See a little bit better. This is the part that's always the messiest. I just try to unscrew a little bit, let it drain down, hopefully go in my pan here. Hopefully I don't drop my phone in the pan, that would suck, huh? Yeah, I can definitely see we got some break-in fluid in there for sure. As you guys know, the reason I did the J Green cam was my old factory lifter failed and wiped out my old camshaft pretty bad, which also put some metal through my engine. So that's the other reason we're changing this oil pretty quickly, is to try to get as much of that out, plus the new parts breaking in. There we go. Take this thing over here to our oil drain tank, and fortunately I kind of dropped it in the pan, so probably won't tell me much now, but I wanted to see kind of break-in stuff we got in there. Yeah, you can see a little bit of particles. In that oil from breaking in that new cam. But yeah, nothing too crazy. A little bit of metal particles in there, like I figured. Anytime you're breaking in new parts, that's gonna happen. So that's why we're doing this oil change after a week of running it. So let's get our parts going on here. All right, so here's the Mopar filter. You can use or put on whatever you want to. I am a big fan of always using the OEM oil filter. Oil on the other side, you know, whatever brand floats your boat, but I highly recommend using the factory oil filters. Believe it or not, Walmart stocks these, and they're actually pretty cheap there, so that's where I buy them. So we got our filter here. I'm gonna lay it down right there. And then before we put that on, what I like to do is I'll reach up here, or you can get some of your new oil, it don't matter. But I just grab a little bit of oil, previously enjoyed oil, and lube up that gasket. Alright, so we got our filter lubed up. Time to put it on. Fish it up here. And you do not need to tighten these up with a wrench. Obviously that would dent it and or damage it. Just snug it up as much as you can with your hand and it's good to go. Alright, got our oil filter on, got our plug in. Let this thing down. Alright, we got our oil here. Pour it back in. Alright, so this jug of oil is 5 quarts. And I got an extra quart to put in it. There we go. Normally, on this Ram, the Hemi, I usually takes all of 6 quarts, and sometimes a little bit more to get it right on the full mark. But got our oil in. Now we're going to check the level on it. Okay, so I got all the oil in. I just checked the oil level. It's good right now. So we're going to fire it up. Let that oil get through the oil filter, and then we'll recheck it. Here's that 0.5 J Green cam. All right. Shut it off and then recheck. I'll pull it off the ramp where it's level, and then we'll check the oil level. Alright, so after running it and restarting it, it's kind of hard to see it there, but so 6 quarts, it's just above the add mark. So it's going to take, like I said, it's about 6.5, almost 7 quarts to fill up these Hemis, at least on the Ram. So we're going to add a little bit more oil, and then she'll be right. Alright, so one last thing. Granted, my truck did not have the oil change light on yet, so I don't need to reset it. But if you're trying to figure out how to do it, when your oil change light's on the dash, turn your ignition key all the way to the on position, and then you're just going to mash your gas pedal really fast 3 to 4 times in a row, and then the light will go out. And that's all there is to it. Don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe. More videos to come. Take care.